This was one where he straight up like fucking lied. On the show, he said, watch, I'll just play it because, and then I'll explain.
Like Joe Rogan as an example. Joe Rogan has never accused me of stealing his jokes. Right?
He was defending his friends, right?
He's never even accused me of stealing his friends' jokes. He's just accused me of being a joke thief.
Okay, so Covino tells him right there, he says, Joe Rogan never accused me of stealing jokes, his jokes. And Covino says he was defending his friends, right? And Carlos goes, no, he never even defended his friends.
He just said I was a joke thief.
But then listen to this.
Yes, go ahead. Tell everybody.
You steal material.
What material?
Constantly, bro.
What material?
You use Ari's bit verbatim about
Wait a minute. Oh, you mean the bit that either George Lopez did when he just did that fucking show?
Ari did it a long time ago when he was opening for you. You saw him do it.
When the fuck did he open for you? He never opened for me.
So he had said, like right there when Covino was asking him, he's like, no, he didn't even he wasn't even defending his friends and shit, you know? And right there was a clear fucking thing where he's
was that
him,
clip finished or no?
That one was, but then he says, he's talking about Ari Shaffir, and he says when you open up for Ari or whatever, and then Ari, he's like, I never even opened up for him. So then Joe brings up Ari Shaffir on stage.
Dude, I opened for you and did that joke. In the rooms, you performed it.
I was doing that joke before.
No, you weren't.
Yes, bro.
Absolutely not.
Damn, so Joe really planned that shit, huh?
Well, I don't even know if he planned it, but they were all fucking there,
okay.
you know? So then when he tells him
Doug, and it's not surprising that it was Joe Rogan who brought all that shit up because he's like that kind of personality and shit. You know what I mean? He's going to call you out if you fuck up like that.
Yeah. And look at, so he says he took this shit after he opened up for Ari Shaffir, and he's like, I never opened up for Ari. So he brings Ari
Damn,
up.
dog.
And look at,
can you imagine how fucking Carlos Mencia felt? Like being called out, and then he's like, no, I didn't do that. And then they pull out like fucking evidence like that.
And see, I'm like, so Doug, like, even all these years later, I'm like, Covino and Rich asked him about it. Rather than being like, you know what, fucking, I don't know, a long time ago, try to avoid it or whatever. He's still lying straight through his fucking teeth.
Yeah,
you know?
for real.
So there was a few more that I had seen, but there was like Ari Shaffir. There was one where he talked about stealing shit from somebody on Howard Stern. And then the last one Joe talks about is Bobby Lee.
Oh, from Bobby Lee. Let me tell you. The video on the internet of him admitting it. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
And see that one, Joe actually, he said you had them pull the video down off the internet or whatever, because Carlos Mencia and Bobby Lee are friends, like really good friends. And there was a video that Joe had where he was like, hey, he's like, has Carlos ever stolen like any of your shit or whatever? And Bobby's like, oh yeah, there was this one, and he starts telling it, but then he was like, oh fuck, you guys are recording, and that's my friend.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Well, I guess Carlos Mencia had him like fucking pull it from whatever YouTube channel or whatever it was on.
Yeah.
And right there, I'm on dogs. Right there, there's somebody from Howard Stern. He was talking about Ari Shaffir, Bobby Lee, and
damn, dog. So he did that shit like habitually, huh?
Yeah, and that's why it was such a big thing, because those are three people I'm naming right now. Plus, there was the George Lopez. There was the